My name is Michael Anderson, and I'm not what you'd call a Rhodes Scholar. I don't have much in the way of philosophy either, but I know one thing. In this world, you have to pay as you go. Sometimes, all you have. That's a lesson I thought I learned 9 years ago during what folks in these parts call the storm of the century. But I was wrong. I only started learning during the big blow. I finished just last week.
Hey, Sonny, you forgot one. One for the pot. Good luck.
Better double it, Sonny. That weatherman says it's coming on.
Seen them come in every winter. They howl in, they howl out. July always comes.
Still, they say this one's gonna be something special.
But we ain't the same. Life out on the islands is different. We pull together when we have to.
We'll get through her.
Yeah, like always.
When you mind the swell, you mind the boat.
What would a Frenchman like you know?
Dagger.
And we can keep a secret when we have to. We kept our share back in 1989. And the people who live there keep them still. I know. I stay in touch.
Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome. Hey, Mrs. Kingsbury.
Well, I've got all my canned goods now. You know, you wouldn't think there was a big storm coming, would you?
I just pray we don't lose the power.
Radio says it's gonna snow a bit.
Easy, Ferg. It's just a cap of snow. Trouble don't cross the reach. Ain't that why we live here?
Yeah. Well, we get in trouble, we're in trouble.
Emphasize this enough. This is the storm that's caused so much misery and 15 deaths as it crossed the Great Plains in the Midwest. And you see its track before you in all its glory. Now look down here because, folks, here comes trouble. This is a very atypical storm, almost a winter hurricane. It's the sort of knuckle duster that paralyzed most of the East Coast and buried Boston back in 1976.
The first person on Little Tall to see Andre Lanoge was Martha Clarendon. He was also the last person she ever saw.
Now, we haven't seen one of comparable power since then, until now. Will it give us a break and stay out to sea, as these storms sometimes do? Unfortunately, the Weather Network Storm Track computer says no. So the states east of the Big Indian... And now, northern New England, if none of this changes tonight, you are going to win the booby prize. Look at this. Now, if neither of these two systems veer, they're going to collide and merge over the state of Maine. That is bad news for our friends in Yankee land. We're talking hurricane-force winds and phenomenal amounts of snow. Northern New England, if none of this changes tonight, you are going to win the booby prize. Look at this. Now, if neither of these two systems veer, they're going to collide and merge over the state of Maine. That is bad news for our friends in Yankee Land. We're talking hurricane-force winds and phenomenal amounts of snow. Northern New England, if none of this changes tonight, you are going to win the booby prize. Look at this. Now, if neither of these two systems veer, they're going to collide and merge over the state of Maine. That is bad news for our friends in Yankee Land. We're talking hurricane-force winds and phenomenal amounts of snow. Northern New England, if none of this changes tonight, you are going to win the booby prize. Look at this. Now, if neither of these two systems veer, they're going to collide and merge over the state of Maine. That is bad news for our friends in Yankee Land. We're talking hurricane-force winds and phenomenal amounts of snow. To this, you can add region-wide blackouts. Now, no one wants to dear. But folks in the New England area, 2 to 3 days, you're apt to be getting a whole winter's worth of snow. Now, we sometimes overuse the phrase storm of the century, but if these two storm tracks converge, as we now think they will, the phrase will be no exaggeration, believe me. Judd Parkin is in next to talk about storm preparations. No panic here, just practicalities. First, this.
Expected to hit Bangor last night. It's not.
When they tell you the world's coming to an end, they want to sell you cereal. When they tell you not to panic, it's serious. Oh, hold on. I'm getting there as fast as I can. I broke my hip last summer, and I'm still as slow as cold molasses. Can I help you?
Born in lust, turned to dust.
I beg your pardon?
Born in sin, come on in.
That's number one. Want to say to yourself, how are my batteries? Am I going to have to keep a portable radio going? Possibly a small TV. And if you have a generator, time to check your gasoline supplies, or your diesel, or your propane is before and not after. If you wait until it's too late, it'll be too late.
Thanks a lot, Judd. Wisdom that our northern viewers have probably heard before, but this makes and your local
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Just tip me over and pour me out.
Witness the cataclysmic powers of Earth, or is it the punishments of God? Now, for the first time anywhere, Punishments of God submitting 90 minutes of terror unlike anything you've ever seen before. Send cash, check, or money order for $19.95 to Punishments of God, P.O. Box 111, Bangor, Maine. Do it now, before it's too late.
Been like this all day.
There you go, John. At this time, the storm is built with great concentrations of snow in the coastal and in the central areas.
Don't forget the bean supper next Wednesday week, Michael. I'm going to need every deacon I can lay my hand on.
I'll be there. If we get through the next 3 days, that is.
I'm sure we will. God takes care of his own.
0.5 on a scale from 1 to 10, don't worry.
This is gonna be one bad mother of a storm.
Mike and your daddy will be here in another minute, and Mike will get you out.
I'm hungry. Can I feed her, Mrs. Anderson? I fed the monkey ones at the Bangor Fair. I'm not a monkey, Harry. Look, you guys, I'm a monkey. Ooh, ooh,
All right, you kids, stop it. Stop it right now. It's not nice. It's making Pippa sad. Dawn, you stop. It's mean. Donnie, you need to stop that right now.
Oh, Pippa. Hold still, your Yankee ears right off your head.
Daddy!
Oh, hey there.
Pippa got her head stuck, and Dawn won't stop being a monkey. Mr. Anderson, I stopped being a monkey as soon as she said.
Well, that's great, Sally. I gotta put you down, Ralphie. Hey.
Ow, hey, why'd you do that? You're acting smart. I ain't afraid of you. My dad's town manager. He pays your salaries.
Pushers get pushed. Donnie Beals, you remember that. It's a true fact of this sad life. Pushers get pushed.
Honey, why'd you do this?
Heidi St. Pierre dared me.
What happened, darling?
It was easy going out, but now I can't get back in. I think my head must be bigger on this side.
Well, it is. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it smaller. You know how?
No. How?
I'm gonna push your smaller button. Then your head will get smaller and it'll slide out just as easy as it slid in. You understand, Peppa? Okay. I'm gonna push your button now, okay? You ready? Close your eyes. Here we go. Beep! Zoop. Okay, your head's getting smaller. Now pull it out before it gets big. There you go.
Thank you. Really.
No problem.
I'm sorry if I called you away at a bad time. I saw her head like that when I couldn't get it to come out on my own. I just freaked.
I needed a break anyway.
The smaller button, huh?
Everyone's got one.
Such storms? Well, the fact is we just don't know. One thing we do know is that the jet stream has taken on a pattern which is very typical for this time of year, although the upper flow is even stronger than usual, helping to account for the terrific strength of this western storm. Back right after this.
Folks, come on down to Belfast Hardware this weekend for our annual blowout spectacular. Lawnmowers up to 30% off, lumber up to 40% off, and name brand power tools have been reduced as much as 50%. Folks, we at Belfast Hardware are prepared to meet, unmatch, but beat any legitimate vendor. Mrs. Clarendon? Are you okay?
Mrs. Clarendon? Mrs. Clarendon? It's Davy. Davy Hopewell? Are you all right?
Forget the NBA, Davy. You'll never even play first string in high school. You're slow. You're a dwarf. Why don't you come on in here, Davy? I'll do you a favor. Save you a lot of grief.
Help! 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 Somebody kill Mrs. Clarendon! Help! Somebody help! Mrs. Clarendon's dead! Help!
Another piece of advice, we've got plenty of Smile Boy all on the whether it's nasty enough.
He shoots. He scores.
David Hopewell. What are you doing, running down the middle of the road, making a spectacle of yourself?
Someone killed Mrs. Clarendon.
That's nonsense. What are you talking about?
There's blood everywhere, and one of her eyes is out.
Baby, just calm down.
It's on her cheek.
Mrs. Kingsbury, you look after him. Give him a hot tea, or better yet, give him some whiskey if you have any.
Are you going to tell Mike Anderson?
Well, not until I've had a look myself first. There's more than one thing that a town manager can do, you know.
You want help, Robbie Beals?
No, that won't be necessary, George. I'll be fine.
Careful, Mr. Beals. I think the guy stole the house.
You want to come in? No, I'm fine. It was. Thanks for seeing after my little girl.
My pleasure.
Not the memorial bell, not with the winds we're having. It'll be the siren comes to that. 2 shorts and 1 long, that's right. Mike Anderson, of course. Those are the decisions we pay him to make, aren't they, dear? All right, yeah, I'll say hello to Peter for you. Thanks for calling, Betty.
Tough day, huh?
Betty Soames seems to think we have access to some secret forecast.
Some kind of Gene Dixon psychic weather forecast?
I guess, yeah.
Has most people in town seen this stuff?
If they're not blind, they've seen it. You need to relax, Mike Anderson. How's little Pippa Hatcher?
Whoa, that was fast.
No secrets on the island.
She's fine. She got her head stuck in the stairs. Dad's outside in the car right now. He's doing his homework for the big blow of '89.
Ain't that just like Alton and Melinda Hatcher's daughter? Perfect. People know this one's bad, Mike. If they hear the siren, they'll come. You needn't worry about that. Now, you came to look at the emergency shelter setup, didn't you?
Thought it might not be a bad idea.
We can handle 300 for 3 days, 150 for a week. If what I'm hearing on the radio's right, we may have to. Just set up, didn't you?
Thought it might not be a bad idea.
We can handle 300 for 3 days, 150 for a week. If what I'm hearing on the radio's right, we may have to. Good?
You know it is. How's the supply closet?
Full, just like you wanted. Concentrates mostly. Pour the water over the powder and then gag it down. but nobody'll starve.
Did you do all this yourself?
And me and Pete's sister Tavia. Be discreet, you said. Don't panic anyone.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, how many people know we're stocked for World War III?
Everyone.
Stay here and finish your shopping, all right? There's nothing you can do down on Atlantic Avenue. Snow's early.
Look at there, the mainland. Can't see over there no more. It's time to get in while you can. Can't even see the reach no more. Time to head down to the town hall. Whether you've heard the siren or not.
Waves and volcanic eruptions. Order now while you still have time. Send cash, check, or money order for 1995 to Punishments of God Part 2. P.O. Box 111, Bangor, Maine. That's Punishments of God Part 2.
Welcome back to the Weather Network. Conditions along the New England coast are expected to worsen dramatically before sunset. Not that our friends down east are going to see the sun go down tonight, I'm afraid. We are expecting gale force along the Massachusetts.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Oh, God, Mike, she's got no face left. Oh, God.
Hatch. Are you gonna be all right? Hatch. Because if you're not, I want you to hand me that 12 gauge and go back out to Robbie.
I'm okay.
Sure.
Oh, yeah?
Put your hands together. If he moves, shoot him.
Oh, yeah.
If he shoots, he'll get us both. That thing's still loaded with buckshot. Also, he's still got the safety on. But you remember to wear gloves. That was good.
On your feet. Hatch, close the door.
Is that wise? I mean, this being a crime scene and all, you think we should leave things the way they are?
Leave the door open. The crime scene's gonna be under 6 feet of fresh powder. Now close the door. Hold on. What's your name?
Andre Linoge.
All right, let's go.
What, are you gonna put him in there?
Not unless you want to get in the back seat with him and babysit.
Get in there, mister.
Put that down.
Remember what I said, Robbie? Hell is repetition.
He talks a lot of nonsense. I think he's crazy.
How do you know your name? You tell him?
I don't know, but I do know that no sane person would want to hurt Martha Clarendon. All right, I'll come over to the store.
open it from the other side.
You want me to leave you out here alone with him?
Unless you happen to see Superman hanging out in the alley.
Maybe we could bring him around the front?
Through the store? With everyone doing their storm shopping? I don't think so. Go on now.
You haven't heard from him? I haven't heard from him.
Remember what I said, Mr. Anderson. And when the time comes, we'll talk.
Don't even twitch, Mr. Lenoge. What sewage caused you to get here? Huh? Answer me! Where's your wallet? Where's your wallet? Stop it! Stop it!
Mike, what are you doing?
Take your boots off.
I'll have to let go of the bars to do that. They lace up.
If you move, you're never gonna have constipation problems again. Kick them off.
Mommy, the island won't blow away, will it?
No. No, honey, of course not. Come on, honey.
Mike was right. You'd never make it in your car. Drive safe, Molly.
Thanks, Billy. I'll be home soon.
No? It was a long shot.
You don't really have a load of Panama Red out there behind your lobster traps, do you, Pete?
That neglect is fine, that no God is watching, and you can go ahead and do whatever you think you can get away with. Can you say hallelujah? Brethren, tonight I'd like to speak to you especially of the secret sin. And tonight I'd like to remind you, say hallelujah, that sin tastes sweet on the lips, but sour on the tongue, and it poisons the belly of the righteous. God bless you, but can you say amen? But the secret sin, the selfish heart that says, I need not share,
I can keep it all for myself and no one will ever know. Think of that, brethren. It's easy to say, oh, I can keep that dirty little secret. It's nobody's business and it won't hurt me, and then try to ignore the canker of corruption that begins to grow around it. That soul sickness that begins growing around it. Be sure your sin will find you out, and that your secrets will be known. All secrets will be known. Can you say hallelujah? Oh, brethren, can you say amen? For I ask you to behold the sting of sin and the price of vice. I ask you to behold the just end of those who would bar the door to the wandering stranger who comes asking so little.
The so-called storm of the century is history in New England now. They're digging out everywhere except here, on Little Tall Island. A little scrap of land off the coast of Maine and home to about 400 souls, according to the last census. About half the island's population sought shelter on the mainland when it became clear this storm was really going to hit, and hit hard. But nearly all the rest, 200 men, women, and young children, are gone. The exceptions are even more ominous and distressing. The United States Coast Guard has recovered 4 corpses so far. 2 may be suicide, sources say, but the other 2 are almost certainly murder victims, bludgeoned to death by what was probably the same blunt object. Baffled police are asking themselves what question over and over. Where are the other residents of Little Tall Island? Where's Michael Anderson, who owned the island's market and served as Little Tall's constable? Where's 14-year-old Davy Hopewell, who was at home recovering from a bout of mononucleosis when the big one hit? Where's Robert Beals, the town manager? No one knows. There has only been one case like this before in all of American history. This is how the village of Roanoke, Virginia looked in 1587, when everyone disappeared. Every man, woman, and child. A single possible clue was found, a word carved on a tree, the word Croton. The name of a place, a misspelling, a word written in a language lost over the centuries. No one knows that either. Police continue to assure reporters that a solution will be found, but even they cannot deny one essential fact. Hope is dimming for the missing residents of Little Tall Island. Evidence suggests that most or all of the islanders spent the first and worst night of the storm here, in the basement of the Little Tall Island Town Hall. After that, no one knows. What really happened in Roanoke in 1587, and what happened here on Little Tall Island in 1989? We may never know. Hello, Joanna Stanhope. You kept a straight face, but inside you were dancing a jig. I know. I can smell it on you like musk.
When this fella comes, Michael, we must give him what he wants. I've prayed on it, and this is the guidance.
We'll listen to him, and then we'll decide, okay?
There is a time to be stubborn, Michael, but there is also a time to let go of the reins and look toward the greater good, hard as that may be. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before the fall. Book of Proverbs.
Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's. Book of Matthew. Stay here, please. We've got this under control.
I know you believe that, Michael, but not all of us are convinced.
Come in, boys. Don't do that, Constable Anderson, unless you want to watch this woman burn her face off. Shall we watch it burn?
No.
Well, come in then. Having a little trouble with the local witch doctor, are you? Well, here's a little something you can file away for later. Always assuming, of course, that there is a later. The Reverend Bobby Riggins has a couple of nieces over in Castine. 11 and 9 they are. Cute little blondes. He likes them a lot. Quite a lot. They run and hide when they see his car pull into the drive. In fact...
Let her down!
Unless you want to see Mrs. Stanhope's impression of the world's biggest birthday candle, I advise you not to speak again until you're invited to. Hatch, close the door. You don't like knowing, do you?
Not your brand of it, no.
Perhaps you don't believe me.
I believe you. But the thing of it is, you see only the bad. None of the good.
By and large, Constable, the good's an illusion. Little fables folks tell themselves so they can get through their days without screaming too much.
I don't believe that.
I know. A good boy to the last. But I think you'll find yourself on the short end this time. Your town is full of adulterers, pedophiles, thieves, gluttons, murderers, bullies, scoundrels, and covetous morons. And I know every last one of them. Born in lust, turn to dust. Born in sin, come on in.
What do you want, Lanoge?
Everyone on those benches an hour from now. That will do for a start. We're going to have a little unscheduled town meeting. 9 p.m. prompt. After that, well, we'll see.
See what?
If I'm through with this town, or just beginning. 9 Constable. You, Hatch, her, Reverend Bobby, Town Manager Robbie. Everyone.
He's the devil! He's the devil! Don't let him near me. I'll do anything, just don't let him near me again.
Has a couple of nieces over in Castine. 11 and 9 they are. That will do for a start. We're going to have a little unscheduled town meeting. 9 p.m. prompt. 9 Constable. You, Hatch, her, Reverend Bobby, Town Manager Robbie.
ladies and gentlemen.
You'll see it happen. They'll puff out. Like candles in the wind.
But folks, we don't give our kids away to thugs. Do you understand that? We don't give away our children.
So what's the choice then? What do we do, Mike? What can we do?
We stand against him. Side by side, we use our will. We tell him no. In one voice. We do what it says over the door we use to come into this place. We trust in God and in each other.
Render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Book of Matthew. You said that to me yourself, Michael, not an hour ago.
Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou savorest not the things that be of God. Book of Mark. Folks, if we give up a child, one of our own, how will we live with each other?
You speak as though he were going to kill the child, Michael. As though it were some kind of human sacrifice. It sounds more like an adoption to me.
And a long life as well. If you believe him, that is. And after seeing him, I guess I do.
I just don't believe this. I don't believe this. Lanoge killed Martha Clarendon with his cane. He knocked the eyes right out of her head. And we are debating whether or not to give this monster a... All right, fine. But you understand this. My son is not a part of this. All right? Do you understand that? My son is not a part of this obscenity.
Yes, he is.
I am taking my son and leaving.
You can't leave. We're in this together.
Michael.
Mike, are you...
Get away from me.
These are weirding stones. They were old when the world was young, and were used to decide great issues long before Atlantis sank into the African Ocean. There are 7 white stones in here, and 1 black one. You're eager for me to be gone, I know. And I don't blame you. Will one parent of each child come forward, please? Let's finish this. It's perfectly simple. You each draw a stone from the bag. Do not reveal your stone until all have been chosen. The child whose parent draws the black stone comes with me. Live long, see far, and know much. Mrs. Robichaud. Jill, will you start us off?
Go on, honey. Do it.
Mrs. Hatcher.
I can't, hubby. You...
Go ahead. Draw.
Ladies?
You go first, Molly. No, you. Please.
Now then, who has the courage to show first? To put fear aside and let sweet relief rush in to take its place. Come, come. Have you not heard the gods punish the faint of heart?
Buster, I love you. Show it, Sandra. Let's see.
I can't, hubby. I can't. I know it's Donnie. I know it's him. I've never been lucky.
Wait.
Please, dear God, I beg of you, don't take away my Heidi.
Mrs. Robichaud. Jill.
I can't. I thought I could go through with it, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Mr. Bright. Henry. Would you favor us?
Stop it! No! 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 No!
Dad, Mom is coming, sweetheart. Mom is coming, sweetheart.
Mike.
No, this can't be. You can't have my son.
I feel your grief keenly, Molly. But you agreed to the terms. I'm sorry.
No, you fixed it. You fixed it somehow.
I assure you that's not so. The game was, as you'd say, straight. And since I believe that long, drawn-out farewells only add to the pain...
No, you can't do that! You tricked us!
Perhaps you tricked yourselves.
Please. Bring him back.
We underestimated the storm. Several people wandered away and were lost. Ralphie was one of them. Angie Carver found her way back, but none of the others ever did.
I don't know if there was more to it or not. 35's young for your pump to quit, but it happens. Molly and Hatch married in May of 1993. Ursula sent me that clipping, too. From what I hear, they've been good for each other. I'm glad. I wish them every happiness. I mean that with all my heart. Not everyone on Little Tall's been so lucky. Jack and Angie Carver divorced about 2 months after Hatch and Molly got married. Jack fought for custody of Buster. He was pretty bitter, I guess, and lost. He moved off the island to Lewiston, rented a room, killed himself there one night, late in the summer of '94. He left what little he had to a fellow named Harmon Brodsky, who lost an eye in a barroom fight back in the '80s. Robbie Beals rebuilt the old fish. He left what little he had to a fellow named Harmon Brodsky, who lost an eye in a barroom fight back in the '80s. Robbie Beals rebuilt the old fish. He left what little he had to a fellow named Harmon Brodsky, who lost an eye in a barroom fight back in the '80s. Robbie Beals rebuilt the old fish. He left what little he had to a fellow named Harmon Brodsky, who lost an eye in a barroom fight back in the '80s. Robbie Beals rebuilt the old fish house on the town dock and hired Kirk Freeman to work there. Kirk said Robbie's wife Sandra came down there early one morning in the spring of 1996. House on the town dock and hired Kirk Freeman to work there. Kirk said Robbie's wife Sandra came down there early one morning in the spring of 1996. We kept our share back in 1989, and the people who live there can keep them still.
Molly, why does your husband hate you so? What really happened to Ralphie? You want people do, you know, they get lost. That's what happened to Ralphie.
This is a cash and carry world. Pay as you go. Sometimes you only have to pay little. Mostly, it's a lot. Once in a while, it's all you have. That's a lesson I thought I learned 9 years ago on Little Tall during the storm of the century. But I was wrong. I only started learning during the big blow. I finished just last week. I could have written Molly and told her. I thought about it. I even prayed about it. When every choice hurts, how do you tell which one's the right one? In the end, I kept silent. Sometimes, mostly late at night when I can't sleep. I think that was wrong. But in daylight, I know better. In daylight, I know better.